Hello, welcome to Bloodhaus, the show where we talk about art house horror movies. I'm your host, Joshua Conkel.
And I'm mother to you all, Drusilla Adeline. Welcome to another week of Bloodhaus, my darlings.
You're a fucked up mummy.
How you doing?
Oh, Drew, I'm reeling. I got some photos back from the lab.
Yeah.
And I had taken a photo walk with my friend Danny, who's also a photographer.
Mm-hmm.
And I passed by this graffiti that I thought was funny. And I was like, hey, take a picture on my camera of me standing in front of this. The graffiti said in big letters, "Fat Pig," with an arrow pointing. And so I stood in front of it thinking it would be really funny. But of course, I forgot in the moment that I've put on like 20 pounds in the past year.
Josh.
And so is it body dysmorphia? If it's a fact, I don't know. I've put on a lot of weight and I have yet to do anything about it. But now I'm just like really under the weight of incredible body dysmorphia this morning. Just like I really walked into it too. I literally saw graffiti that said "Fat Pig" and thought, wouldn't it be funny and ironic if I stood in front of this? It really serves me right. It really serves me right.
You saw a sign that said "Fat Pig" and you said, "Oink oink, here I come." I'm so sorry you're dealing with that. I'm dealing with that myself to a degree. It's hard to blame it on lockdown when that's been like 4 or 5 years ago. But I did actively gain weight at that time. And then I've gone into a long-term relationship, which the two of those things always combine to put on a little bit of weight because there's a lot more home cooking. It's a lot more heavy meals. It's a lot more like lounging around. So I go to the gym once or twice a week and I'm starting to chip away at it, but it's the kind of thing that like most mornings I'm looking in the mirror and I'm like, nope, need to figure that out. And then it makes me frustrated enough that I go to the gym.
I have to start going back to CrossFit and like get my diet in order. The truth is I've been like sad because of my mom and because the world is on fire and stuff. Yeah. And so I get like, so I'm addicted to this really expensive rocky road that they sell at Lassen's, which is a block away.
Yeah.
And so whenever I start to feel bad, I'm like, I'm going to treat myself to that rocky road. It's an $8 candy bar that is the size of like a dinner plate. And I eat it like every day along with like all the takeout that you can imagine. So and I stopped going to the gym weeks and weeks ago. So I just have to like get my life in order. But you
just need to flip some big tires and then move some ropes.
True.
And that'll do it.
I have to go back to CrossFit. I am secretly a CrossFit bro. But I haven't been for a long time. So I got to get back into it because I'm really down on myself. And I also think that working out would make me feel happier.
Good. No, like it. I hate to say it because I don't want to sound like some like anti-vax like Facebook mom, but like getting out, moving around, and doing exercise does actively release endorphins in your brain. So it does make you feel good.
Yeah. I mean, it's no replacement for mood stabilizers when and
not
if you
in the
need
least.
them. But it doesn't hurt to get out there and go for a run or do a little exercise or get some fresh air.
I hope I can squeeze some of that in for myself today, but I have a very busy day ahead of me. But I'm glad.
How are you?
I'm glad at least you're like moving in that direction. I'm good. I'm a busy little bee right now. The amount of like ooh-woo discussion of like setting intentions and things like that is well and good to some degree, but I am actively setting intentions in that my aim and my goal is to move to a bigger place in the next 3 to 4 months. And so I have been slammed, and it is a mix of like all my downtime is spent on rental sites, and then all of my like out and about downtime is like going to see houses and going to see properties And also because of that, because moving is expensive, I've been taking on a lot more work. And so I am shoveling my little gullet full of design jobs, all of which are super exciting. I'm thrilled about all of them. But at the beginning of the year, I was like, I'm going to take on less work. I want to owe less of my taxes this year. And I want to be able to have downtime. And now that's not the case. I need all the work I can get. I want to save up as much as I can so that I can get Ivory and myself to a much larger, happier home. So it's the intentions are set and the work has begun. It just means that I am waving away basically my entire social life in relaxation for the next handful of months. But I can do it. We'll get there.
Yeah.
We'll get there, I promise. I just need to balance being able to go to the gym. I need to balance eating well, and I need to balance like actually watching good things while I'm working rather than just tossing on like a CBS procedural in the background. Because if I just keep hearing people being like, well, the rapist keeps leaving drops of his load in this side of the room, but the decapitated head is on this side of the room. I wonder if that means there's two different perverts involved in this serial homicide pedophilia ring. And I'm like, if I hear that every hour all day long while I'm working, it makes me want to kill myself. So as long as I have a steady diet, both food and audio visually, I think I'll be able to survive and, be able to move to Burbank, have a lovely little home with a yard.
I love Burbank.
And things can move forward. Burbank or, Highland Park or Atwater. Yeah. We'll see. Mm-hmm. We'll see how it shuffles out.
Don't write off Echo Park, which is a great neighborhood.
I do love Echo Park. It's the only difficulty is I work from home, so it's very easy to be like, I could live anywhere. But my primary job is starting to encourage people to return to the office, which is in downtown LA. And on top of that, Ivory works a full-time job at a boutique in the like Melrose district. So commutes are unfortunately a practicality at this point as well.
Echo Park to downtown LA is about as good as a commute as you can have in LA. I mean,
that's true.
It's the only neighborhood that's close to downtown LA, really, except for downtown LA.
I have looked at some properties in the Miracle Mile, I will say. So.
Miracle Mile is the most underrated Los Angeles neighborhood. This is really interesting for people who live in the Midwest or wherever. I'm sorry. Miracle Mile is the dead center of LA. It is the largest concentration of beautiful Art Deco buildings that are really affordable because for some reason no one wants to live here. They want to live in West Hollywood or wherever, but like it's dead center and it's full of gorgeous, affordable Art Deco apartment buildings.
And you're like walking distance to every single museum. All the museums are right there.
Yeah. And the Grove in New Beverly.
Yeah. And Brain Dead and the Academy Theater, like...
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys have an IMAX.
Yeah. Well, the cure for depression, I wish I could say, is going to the movies because I've been to the movies a lot this week. In fact, I overscheduled myself and missed a movie that I really wanted to see. I was supposed to go see this Australian movie, Getting Down, that I know you know about this movie. Going Down.
Yes.
I was supposed to see that last night at Vidiots, but I looked at my tickets right before I left and they were for the night before. So I just totally missed it. And I really wanted to see it. I was excited I thought that I would talk about that on the show. But luckily I'd been to the theater 1,000 other times this week. I saw Clown in a Cornfield, which I was dreading seeing, but my friends were going. And actually I thought it was pretty fun.
That's what I've heard.
It's fun. It has a kind of a rough start, but there's a certain point when it just explodes. And then the second half of it is like a total blast. And it's got a pretty cool aesthetic. It's set in a small Midwestern town, as the cornfield in the title might tip you off. And it's like a town where everyone worked for this corn syrup factory, which is now shut down. So it's got the aesthetics of like a dying Midwestern town. And so for a cheap movie, it looks pretty great. And then, like I said, the second half is like a total blast. But and then I saw a double feature of Prom Night and Prom Night 2, Hello Mary Lou. Super fun. Prom Night has one of the actors from the movie we're watching today in it, which I had forgotten about. The man with the most recognizable comb over in film history. So that was fun. But the one that I really wanted to talk about, the one that I was most surprised by, was Final Destination Bloodlines.
Oh, you went to go see that?
Yeah. Have you
I know
seen
those
it
aren't
yet?
like entirely your jam. I haven't seen it yet, but I really want to. I have a complicated history with the Final Destination movies because as like a teenager, they would play on TV all the time and they freaked me the fuck out and they gave me so much goddamn anxiety.
They're very stressful movies.
But then recently, the friend of the show, Michael Kennedy, had a kind of screening of the first Final Destination not too long ago. And I was like, oh yeah, this is so goddamn fun. I like these so much more now. And with a new one coming out, I was like, I should go see that. That sounds really good. And it hasn't happened yet, but I want to.
I like these movies. I think they're fine. I will say, being from the Pacific Northwest, the second one that opens with like the logging truck disaster on the freeway, it's really fucked with me and haunted with me because you're literally driving behind a logging truck 50% of the time in rural Washington state. So that's a problem. But I like the movies fine. I think they're fun at best. I think the worst of them are okay still. You know, that's like pretty solid.
The formula alone is like such a like Rube Goldberg machine that you can, no matter how dumb it is, you're gonna have fun.
The set pieces are just like incredible. I have to say, and I'm somebody who's like skeptical about franchises in general and somewhat down on them. Like I'm a little bit too snobby to enjoy them a lot of the time. This is the best Final Destination movie.
Really?
It is such a fucking blast. It has the most insane set pieces I've ever seen in any of these movies, and in any movies generally. It feels more like an old school disaster movie in a lot of ways.
Oh,
because,
cool.
I mean, this isn't really a spoiler, but the opening giant set, every Final Destination has an opening set piece that's like a big, big thing. This one is set at the opening of the Space Needle in 1962. They don't call it the Space Needle. They call it something else, but it's the Space Needle and it's 1962. And so you've got that hairspray aesthetic in a glamorous, sky high rotating restaurant. So just imagine a Final Destination set piece at the Space Needle in the 60s. It's so good. And it finds a way that I won't spoil, to reinvigorate the franchise with new mythology. It has the most insane set pieces I've ever seen. It's a big spectacle. It's funny. It's clever. It's surprising. I mean, it's not a good movie in the way that like Breathless is a good movie, but it doesn't need to be.
No.
For what it's doing and the kind of movie that it is, it's a fucking banger. I mean, I can't recommend it enough, and I think people should see it in the theater. It's so fun.
I am very excited to go see it, and it's now moved straight up my list. I'll probably go see it this week. I'm very, very,
very
excited.
You should. It's such a treat. I mean, it's such a good escapist treat. My belly hurt from laughing, and I was stressed out the whole time, and like, boy, I loved it.
Hopefully I can carve out some time this week, like in the middle of the week, to go to the competing mall, the Americana, star of the hit TV show Hacks, and go catch it there this week. I do know that the new Mission Impossible is also coming out this week, and I'm going to have to go see that in IMAX.
Really? I've never seen a Mission Impossible movie. Should I see them?
You should. They're very good. The first one's directed by Brian De Palma. The second one's directed by John Woo.
Really? I had no idea.
Yeah. So initially the concept with those movies was that and the first one's written by Robert Towne, who wrote Chinatown.
Yeah.
The
Wow.
concept with them originally was that, like, Tom Cruise has all the fame in the world. Paramount's going to let him do whatever he wants, and he wants to reboot the Mission Impossible TV show as a film franchise for himself. And he wanted, as an excuse to, like, not only do the big stunts, but also to work with the best directors in the world for, like, the handful of them. And that was the plan going forward. And then he decided, no, I want control over this franchise. I don't want to have to deal with a different ego every time. And so it's De Palma, and then it's John Woo, and then the third one is directed by J.J. Abrams, and it's kind of like what launched J.J. Abrams. And then the fourth one's like the only live action film directed by Brad Bird, the like Pixar director.
Yeah.
And then all the rest are directed by Christopher McQuarrie. And they're so goddamn fun. I know you're not as much of an action fan as I am, and I'm sure I'll talk about it more next week, but I'm gonna have to rewatch. It's very much the Oceans trilogy or quadrilogy, and
I've never seen those either.
They're so fun. Those I think you would like more because they're a lot more stylish. They're a lot more like just hanging out, having fun.
And they're like heist movies more than like action movies, right?
And Ocean's 12 isn't even a heist movie. It's just a hangout movie that like says fuck you if you think it's a heist movie. It's so mean to its audience. It's so fun. But the Mission Impossible movies and those movies are just like cozy comfort movies to me. If I'm like locked in and working, I will just put them on in the background and can just lock in and have a great time. And they're so fun in the theater. The set pieces and the spectacle stuff always works. Like the last one with the train was so amazing. And the cast they get are crazy. I mean, they get Carrie Elways, and they get Angela Bassett and Alec Baldwin and Ving Rhames, and it's really crazy. I'm very, very, very excited for this new one. But I did get out to the theater twice this week. And one of them was a new release that I don't know if you've seen yet or not, but I feel like you're going to love. And it's the first film ever starring Tim Robinson of I Think You Should Leave, and it's Friendship from A24.
I can't wait to see Friendship.
Oh, it's so good. It's so goddamn funny. For listeners that don't know, it's Tim Robinson of Detroiters and I Think You Should Leave fame. Very much in the mode you would expect from him.
We're big fans in this household of I Think You Should Leave.
Oh, same. We quote I Think You Should Leave all the goddamn time. And now we're quoting Friendship all the time. And you know, it's him and Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd's like his cool new neighbor who lives down the road, who's a TV nightly weatherman that he wants to be friends with so bad because he's so cool. And Tim Robinson is married to Kate Mara, and they have a teenage son, and he just neglects every aspect of his life to become best friends with Paul Rudd. And then that friendship doesn't work out. And then the rest of the movie is like a vengeance streak of him both trying to get Paul Rudd back and also trying to prove that he's too good and he doesn't need Paul Rudd. But it's also an excuse for a string of absolute hysterical runners and one-offs and improvs from Tim Robinson and the rest of the cast that are so goddamn funny. Kate Mara is incredibly funny and dry in this. And it kind of has that very contemporary A24 visual aesthetic to it. Very like Gen Z, like it's shot on film. There's a lot of like slow zooms and like funny cuts and transitions. It filmically feels like a throwback to 70s filmmaking in a very interesting way that heightens the tension and stakes and drama of the movie. That just lets the absurdity really sing. It's so goddamn funny. I don't want to spoil any of the jokes because the best thing about the marketing for this movie is they know that they could just be like Tim Robinson's in it and then just do some weird cuts and that's all you need to know to sell it. None of the jokes are spoiled. They're all in the movie. They're so goddamn good. I don't even want to tease them. Just go see it. Literally, we saw it with a packed house in Burbank at the big AMC over there, and the crowd was so full of I Think You Should Leave fans.
Yeah.
The moment the movie started, and as soon as the camera panned over to reveal Tim Robinson, people started laughing. Just at his face.
He's just so funny. He's so funny. I mean, I could quote I Think You Should Leave all day and have probably.
It's really, really, really good. There's so much shit in it that you're gonna love. It's also a great like little snippet of the Midwest. It is set in an undisclosed kind of made up town in the Midwest, and it's very much like suburban dad life, and it's really, really, really funny.
I can't wait to see that.
It's the hardest I've laughed at a comedy in theaters in a long time.
Since Barb and Star.
Since Barb and Star. It's not getting a ton of marketing push, and I'm sure it's gonna be more of a cult film, but I loved it. I thought it was
made to do, really. You can expect much more.
Very much so. But we also went out to the theater last night to catch a movie, which is thematic for tonight's movie. Because it has the same director, and as a movie we've already covered and done an entire episode on Bloodhaus, but I just want to bring it up because of the timing of it. The Egyptian Theater in Hollywood did a screening of David Cronenberg's Dead Ringers.
Yeah.
It was so magical. It was so cool to see that on the big screen with the whole audience. Yeah. That was like so keyed into the tone of the movie too. It was so fun. And part of the reason for the screening was that it was introduced by the producer of the film, Carol Baum, who I didn't know was the one who brought the property to David Cronenberg. She good
instincts.
Had read about the true story that it was based on in the newspaper in the 70s, and then was like, wow, that would make a great movie. I want to get the rights to that. And then was friends with Barry Wood, the woman that wrote the book that it's based on. And so was like, I'll buy the rights from you in 1978. And then sat on it for years, waiting to find a good director. And then after Scanners met David Cronenberg and got him attached in the early 80s to make it. And they did the rounds in LA, and everyone turned it down or gave notes like, could they be lawyers? Would that work? And so he put on the back burner, went off and made, Dead Zone and The Fly, big hits. And then after the success of The Fly, people were like, what do you want to make? And he was like, well, I've got this fucked up twins movie. But the weirdest thing they said was that the only way they could get funding, and that's not weird, but the only way they could get funding is if they had a big name attached to it. And so they went to the list of the biggest male actors in Hollywood at the time, and had meetings with Robert De Niro and Al Pacino and all of those guys, which makes no sense to me. No, Robert De Niro and Dead Ringers sounds awful. But the one person that they had attached to it was William Hurt at first.
He would have been great.
Which is kind of perfect.
Yeah.
Especially coming off Altered States and Body Heat. He absolutely could have done Dead Ringers. But of course they landed with Jeremy Irons, and
it was wonderful.
Couldn't be better. He gives such an incredibly emotionally resonant performance that it's also just can't be enough. In some parts. Ever since we saw it again in theaters, Ivory and I have been quoting Jeremy Irons' lines to each other for the past day or two, which is great. Nothing like going to bed with your partner and saying, well, baby brother, it's great. You would never fuck if it wasn't for me.
I loved the idea that I don't know, I think you came up with it on the Dead Ringers episode, that Dead Ringers is the origin story for Crimes of the Future, the tools that that those brothers start coming up with become the tools that they use in Crimes of the Future, like a century later.
There's even Irons has a line near the beginning of the movie when he's inspecting Geneviève Bujold, where he says, "I always thought there should be an inner beauty contest, best liver, best fully formed spleen," which is like that's such a direct through line. It's all right there. He hasn't changed even. Like you could watch like Dead Ringers, The Shrouds, and Crimes of the Future could be a trilogy in that order and could like be the same world. So many more of his films too, but like it's very precise. I'm still thinking about you talking about Dead Ringers, but with the Sparks brothers, Ron and Russell Mael. I want to see that as like a stage play where they change roles every night. Like,
well,
Slow
they should
West.
also do like a musical, write the music for a Dead Ringers musical.
Yeah. Like an opera.
Yeah.
That would be
I love
amazing.
the idea of an inner beauty contest being literal. Is so funny to me. Like the beauty of your innards. It's so smart and good and very David Cronenberg.
The most gorgeously formed pancreas. You'll never guess who it is.
Well, we've been talking about this icon already, so we might as well get into it. Today we are covering my very favorite David Cronenberg movie from 1979, The Brood.
They come from the unknown, and they're here now, hiding, waiting to strike. You can feel their presence all around you. Never before have you come this close to the edge of terror. Never before have you faced anything so strange and sinister, so bizarre and unnerving. Never until now. David Cronenberg's The Brood.
I love this one the most because, I love all of David Cronenberg that I've seen. There's a whole period that I haven't seen, but all the ones that I've seen, I really enjoy. But my favorites are the early ones that are more traditionally within the horror genre. Mm-hmm. Because I would argue that most of his later films that are very well known kind of hew more closely to science fiction. Not that that matters, because I also like science fiction. It doesn't matter for our show either. We talk about movies that aren't really horror movies all the time. But this one, I think, really hits a sweet spot. There is a science fiction element, but it is just like a good old-fashioned horror movie, despite being very weird and David Cronenberg-y too. I just think it just is hitting on all cylinders. I love this movie. It also kind of is made in 1979, comes out in 1980, so it has that great aesthetic of 1980 that we talk about so often. It feels like I just love the look of 1980, that you get in The Shining, and I don't know, because I just saw it Prom night.
Well, another Canadian classic and another snowy classic. This is his snowiest movie. This is his most like winter set.
I do love a snowy movie as well. And I love Oliver Reed. I love Art Hindle.
Oh, you love Art Hindle.
I do have a big crush on Art Hindle.
This is the hottest he's ever looked.
This is like his only lead
Black
role,
Christmas.
really, right?
Yeah.
His coat in Black Christmas is a little silly. His like big fur coat.
I don't think it's silly. I think it's incredible.
And he's also hot in the 1970s Invasion of the Body Snatchers as the like yuppie boyfriend. He's pretty hot in Porky's, to be honest, as like a high school gym coach. He's just a hot man. But I love this movie. I know that this isn't your favorite Cronenberg movie, but I assume that you like this movie a lot.
No, I love this movie though. It's not my favorite, and I mean, it's I feel like Cronenberg, similar to someone like Alfred Hitchcock or someone like that, has like tiers for fans of their work. There's like A tier, B tier, or I guess people online would call S tier. I don't know what that means.
I don't understand those letters.
Me neither. But with Cronenberg, for me, the top tier stuff is always Crash and Dead Ringers and Naked Lunch.
The artier stuff.
Videodrome. However, Shivers is up there for me.
I love Shivers.
I love Shivers. For me, Shivers is the like perfection. It's like the perfect little like truffle of his trash films, of his like sleaziest movies. It's sleazier than any of them.
And it's the sleaziest one by lots, by miles.
Lots. I don't know. It's a perfect little morsel in the same way that the opposite side of the coin of like Dead Ringers being his most art house, his most prestigious, his most little like polished gem. They're like opposite sides of the spectrum, and they're like always my favorites. But Crash and Naked Lunch are also like mixed in there. But then the second string is also some of the best movies ever made, and The Brood is the top of that. The Fly is in there for me. I would also say more recent movies like Crimes of the Future are in there. Maps to the Stars, Existenz, The Dead Zone, which I think is pretty underrated. Like the man doesn't have a bad flick. If there's any one of his that I think is overrated, it might be Scanners, but Scanners is still incredible.
Yeah.
Just because Scanners is more of like a sci-fi spy espionage movie.
Yeah.
And I don't really like the lead actor in Scanners either, but that's just me. The Brood has an The Brood is one of his best because it has an incredible fucking cast. It is clearly very personal to him because it's about his divorce. And
this is the most divorce movie maybe ever made. Also, you saying Scanners just jogged something because I was watching Hello Mary Lou Prom Night 2 and it's like, who is this guy? I recognize him. And he's the lead from Scanners. Michael Ironside is in it.
He's in Hello Mary Lou?
Yeah, he's the principal.
Oh my God, you're right. Yeah.
I was like, who is this guy?
He's Michael Ironside, huge actor. Yes, he's the villain in Scanners, but also
he is. But he's like Recall, that guy. He's a that
Troopers. Guy. Yeah.
He's a that guy for me.
He's like one of the iconic character actors of the 80s. Yeah, he's fucking amazing. But the cast of The Brood is so fucking good. It's the first like big movie stars that Cronenberg is working with. I mean, obviously, like famously, Rabid starred
a porn star.
Yes,
Marilyn Chambers. Is that her name?
Marilyn Chambers. Yeah.
And
so now he's got like Samantha Eggar and Oliver Reed.
Classy actors.
Very, very classy actors. Samantha Eggar, who, I mean, had been in like Return from the Ashes and Dr. Dolittle and most famously The Collector, like a very, very established British actress. Very, very, very successful and incredible. But Oliver Reed is the fucking get.
Yeah.
He's so good. And similar to Scanners, this movie also opens with two actors on stage of a scientific conference giving a demonstration. And I think this one's more fucked up than the Scanners one.
For sure. It is. Psychologically speaking, this is super fucked up. But I watched it with Joel and I turned to him and I was like, you know what this is like? Drama school. This is what you do at drama school.
Yes.
The psychoplasmics. It's like, these are just acting exercises that I did at Cornish College in 2002.
It reminds me of all those acting exercises. It also makes me think of the scene in Body Double where he's doing the like sardines acting experiment too. It's the exact same thing that transference and regression to like get to the heart of your problem. Like that's every acting technique ever.
Yeah. Thank God that doesn't make you actually grow tumors, though, because every drama student, every kid at Juilliard would be dead by now. I also thought when watching this movie last night, I was like, why go through the trouble of buying each of these little kids a snowsuit or a jogging suit? Like, does he just have a closet full of little snowsuits for all of these little runts that pop out?
And they're all individually colored, so he can tell them apart.
Well, I mean, you'd buy them in bulk, I guess. You go to Costco and buy 20 snowsuits. The other thing for me... Sorry, go ahead.
I will say that is the kids, the brood, the titular brood, are the most schlocky thing about the movie. However, seeing them in their individual little colors is so good, and it's so smart. And it's maybe the most primary colors in a Cronenberg movie ever.
Maybe. I think that they're scary, actually.
They are scary.
It's mostly the way it's shot. I don't think the same thing is scary in like a Child's Play movie. Like, I don't think Chucky is scary, but because David Cronenberg is so good at composing, I think it's scary here. And that's the sci-fi element too, like the great autopsy scene where they have no reproductive organs and they have no navel. Like, that's so good. I just love the look of this thing. But it is like, I said to Joel last night, I was like, you know what this is giving? This is giving Ari and Uzi Tenenbaum, and they're like matching Adidas tracksuits. How often does he have you working out?
Oh my
16
God.
times a week.
Oh my God.
Also, this movie, I love that it's chic. It kind of like the Institute for Psychoplasmics or whatever it's called. It really looks a lot like Esalen Institute and Big Sur.
Yeah.
There's like the sort of chic new age 70s wood paneling kind of
It almost
aesthetic.
looks like a James Bond villain lair. You know?
Yes.
Think about like Telly Savalas's like mountaintop hideout and On Her Majesty's Secret Service. Like,
I've never seen a James Bond movie, but I presume that that's true because of cultural cultural knowledge,
cultural osmosis.
I've seen Archer cartoons. So.
Yeah. You get the vibe then.
Yeah.
Archer's the best. Oliver Reed is also kind of playing it like a malevolent Bond villain to a degree. However, Cronenberg being Cronenberg, he makes him wholly fucking sympathetic to a degree. And extremely charming because he's fucking Oliver Reed.
He's Oliver Reed.
When he comes out in that short little bathrobe.
The slutty little bathrobe with matching slippers, and then he's talking to his twink servant. I love it. I love him. I love the idea of psychoplasmics too. And I wonder, like, what is Oliver Reed's goal? You know what I mean? Like, it seems to be he's just like following this to a conclusion, right? He discovers that if you make people angry enough that their body will produce something, in Samantha Egger's case, like little demon children. But for what? Like, why is that good? How does he think he's gonna help people? The other guy that this works on is dying of cancer, like Comb Over Man. He manifests cancer through his anger because of Oliver Reed. So I don't know what the end goal is. Like, I don't know what the use case for this is in terms of like aiding humanity. And that's never explained.
Well, I mean, I think it's because it's the classic mad scientist. It's because I can, right?
It's because he can, right?
But the idea of psychoplasmics is like the great first example of like Cronenberg ideology on screen.
Yeah.
So this is his third commercial feature. He had made 2 experimental features before, but then he made Shivers, and then he made Rabbit, and The Brood is number 3 in that line. And years ago at the American Cinematheque, when they did when Cronenberg was in town for Beyond Fest, they did those 3 as a triple feature. And my God, was that a good day.
Incredible.
But you can very much like, there's a sex parasite at the core of
Shivers.
It's very sleazy and it's very like marketable at that time. But you know, the idea that there is a worm or a parasite that's going to get into your body and change how you move and think and feel.
Have you ever explained Shivers to somebody who hasn't seen it?
Yes.
This happened to me on Sabrina when we would just talk about horror movies all the time. And I was like, oh, it's like that moment in Shivers. And no one had seen Shivers. And then my boss was like, what's Shivers? And I was like, oh, it's a Cronenberg movie. And it's like a zombie movie in a high-rise apartment. And except instead of eating each other, the people get so horny that they rape each other to death, basically.
Not to death. They don't. Yeah, well, I guess, some of them do murder each other, but like it's mostly that they just all want to fuck each other. And the most fucked up scene in the whole movie is when like a young girl gets attacked and then turns into one of the horny
zombies.
Yeah,
a sex zombie. Anyways, it's just like once you're describing it to somebody, you're like, oh, this is a trashy movie. Like this person is never gonna watch this movie. But sorry,
and you know what? I have the poster for it over my dining room table. Everyone who comes into my house sees it. By the way, Comb-Over Man that you mentioned, that actor's name is Robert A. Silverman.
Yeah.
He is an iconic Canadian character actor and was in Rabid and Naked Lunch and Existenz and Scanners and
Prom
also
Night.
Prom Night and Jason X, starring David Cronenberg. He's the shit. And then Rabid, of course, is dealing with like the after effects of surgery and like a slight bodily mutation, which again leads to a zombie thing. The Brood is the first time where the whole movie is like set around scientists and scientific innovation and the way that is cross-pollinating with human emotions. And the idea that we as human beings have autonomy over our bodies in a way that is otherworldly, that we aren't aware of yet, that there are mysteries within inside us.
Mm-hmm.
And that is something that he taps into much more largely in Crimes of the Future, especially with the like building organs and tumors and things.
Yeah.
But that's also a huge part of Videodrome. That's a huge part of Crash. That's a huge part of Dead Ringers and The Fly. And The Brood really feels like the starting point, where like he made his first 2 experimental films and then he made his first 2 like exploitation films. The Brood feels like the first Cronenberg film.
Yeah, and it's like kind of just like a happy medium between all of the different strands of his career. You know what I mean? I feel this way about the John Waters film Polyester.
Yeah,
which is
Polyester really is the like midsection.
It's really my favorite John Waters movies for a lot of reasons, but one of those reasons is that it's like a happy medium between his like truly disgusting 70s output, which I love, and his like and more mainstream family friendly kind of stuff that he would do after. And it's just like it's rated R but not too challenging. It really hits all the sweet spots for a John Waters movie for me.
Mm-hmm. And The Brood is like that for Cronenberg because it's for the most part, it doesn't have the big exploding head at the beginning. It doesn't have Jeff Goldblum like dripping and oozing his way into something the whole ride through. For the most part, it's dealing with suspense, which is not something that Cronenberg typically deals with outside of this movie. Like, we're dealing with, you know, the way he chooses to light and shoot the Brood and the kids and the way they move through the house, the way the hands grab onto...
That's my favorite shot of the movie, is when those hands, like, move away in the little grunt. Ugh, that's creepy.
Or the way they attack in a kindergarten classroom.
I mean, this movie does go hard. They kill a kindergarten teacher in front of her class.
Yeah.
Which is pretty great.
But it never fully does the, like, big, gross body horror stuff that really was pushing the boundaries at the time for him until the end.
Yeah, it's quite a shock.
When I tell you, the first time I watched this movie, I was in high school. I was, like, 15, maybe 16. I watched it on a laptop. I think it was on YouTube or something like that. It was either on YouTube or it was on Hulu or something. And I watched it, and when it got to that reveal, when Samantha Eggar does her big reveal, which is like such a gorgeously composed
Incredible.
both in terms of the production design and the costume design. Carol Spear and Denise Cronenberg always fucking bringing it. I literally threw up in my mouth when I was 16, whatever, watching this for the first time.
Yeah.
And that happened. Because I wasn't expecting it by that point in the movie. With his other movies, all that stuff happened so fast, and you're like, yep, I know what this is going to be. That this one, I was like, oh, no, this is just like a killer kid movie. Got it. I understand what's going on. And when that happened, I literally, it took me the fuck out.
And then it's like the child, or whatever you want to call it, is in a sack, which she then like bites into and then licks the blood off of its body. It's so
It was her biting it that made me throw up in my mouth. It wasn't just the like, oh, this, which that was enough. But then that, I was like, oh, that's too fucking far. It brought bile up.
I tried to convince Joel last night that was normal, that's like what all moms do when they have babies. He's like, that's not true. And I was like, yes, it is. Don't you know anything about childbirth?
This is a documentary.
Yeah.
Well, it's like eating the placenta.
Or like chewing the umbilical cord off, which all animals do. But I love that in Female Trouble when she like bites off the umbilical cord.
Or like in Freddy Got Fingered, when Tom Green bites off a woman's umbilical cord.
I've never seen that movie.
We're going to have to cover it on Bloodhaus. It is both art house and horror. I'll make an argument.
I feel like it is probably, I assume it will be like Dadaist in a way that I would like. It
is actively Dadaist, and that he has said that was his intention making the movie.
Like Greasy Strangler or something.
Yeah. I was actually, not to get off too much of a tangent, but I was thinking about him and that movie while watching Friendship, because I was like, there's always like buzzy comedians and comic actors for a period of time who like do a thing and have like a tone and a shtick, and eventually they become out of fashion.
Yeah.
Like happened to Tom Green, happened to Pauly Shore, like. Not to say that Tim Robinson is Pauly Shore. He's fucking not.
No.
But like he's very, very popular in the moment. He's very, very buzzy. He does a specific kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so it just, while watching Friendship, I was like, I hope it doesn't end. I hope he doesn't. I hope that doesn't happen to him. I hope he has more of a Jerry Lewis career. Anyway.
Sometimes I'm just like at the grocery store by myself, and I think about coffin flops, and I just have a little chuckle. I just imagine a couple of coffin flops, and it brightens my day up.
They can show them because they don't have souls. It's okay.
Corncob TV. Do you know who I love in this movie is the grandma. I was like, she's such a chic granny. She looks great. She's skinny. She's young. She's an alcoholic. But and then later we meet Samantha Eggar's father. They both are dispatched with in really gruesome ways. But it made me question, and I want to ask you, Samantha Eggar's character is in therapy because she has these traumatic memories of being abused as a child. But there's also a great scene when her mother is talking to the little kid and is talking to Art Hendel's character and says, like, your kid is making up stories about you as we speak. She's rewriting the past about you as it happens, because that's what kids do. And the version of these parents that we see firsthand, to me, doesn't feel like it matches the version that we're getting from Samantha Eggers in therapy. And so I wondered if she was genuinely abused, or if this is like sham repressed memories that were really in style at this
very
moment.
In vogue in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah. So I wondered if you had any thoughts about that.
That was kind of my read of it this watch myself.
Me too. But it's hard to be like, I don't believe her, but I actually don't.
Exactly. Well, I think part of the support for that, first of all, I like that Cronenberg doesn't make a big case out of that. I like that he just sprinkles it in there. But also, part of the evidence for that is that Olive Reed is kind of a con man to a degree. I mean, what he's doing is producing actual results, but they're not good results. Like
in her case, like sentient tumors that kill people, but in the less terrible scenario, tumors that kill a man from cancer.
Yeah. And so this is one of the few instances where it feels like Cronenberg's not on the side of the doctor.
Yeah.
It feels like he seems like he's critical of this person while also having his own specific fetishistic obsession with the work. And like I said, Oliver Reed does kind of get redeemed throughout the film, but he's still a piece of shit.
The other piece of evidence to support my read and your read, it seems like this time, is there's a great scene when the grandma is looking at a photo album with the kid, and there's a picture of Samantha Eggers in the hospital as a little girl, and she says to her granddaughter, "Oh, your mom was constantly in the hospital as a child because she would develop these bumps and no one knew where they came from." And of course, it's because she has this like psychoplasmic, special, weird evolutionary thing going on in her body. But it seemed to me this time that Samantha Eggers' character has reinterpreted her childhood and the creation of these like tumors all over her as like bumps and bruises from having been abused.
Yeah, that's always been my initial read of that scene the first time I watched it and every subsequent time. But you're right, it does kind of get muddled. But it does feel like that's something that like Oliver Reed is latching onto because again, so much of this movie is about parents and about being a parent and about dealing with your past trauma of your childhood.
Yeah.
Whether it's there or not. And it's interesting that he kind of plays a father figure to his patients a lot of the time, or he plays husband to them, and Samantha Egger is dealing with a childhood trauma, and her response to that is to become a mother and is to have to produce children that will do this work for her.
Yeah. Yeah, my childhood best friend is a therapist, and I didn't know until like 2 years ago when he told me, and it seems like you do know this, but I wonder if our listeners all know this, that repressed memories aren't real. Like, it's what caused the satanic panic, and what it turns out happens is, and this is exactly what Oliver Reed is doing to Samantha Eggers.
Mm-hmm.
When you ask leading questions to a person who's in a vulnerable psychological state, those questions can create false memories in that person.
Absolutely.
So that's what happened in the satanic panic. These people would ask these little kids, like, were you touched at daycare? Then the kid remembers being touched. Then they're like, did they say anything about Satan? Then the little kid starts to literally remembers, creates fake memories about things that never happened because of the questions that they were asked, the leading questions that they were asked.
And I feel like Cronenberg is like manifesting this physically, because what he's doing is he's like, Oliver's doing exactly that with all of his patients.
Yeah.
And it's not only that he's creating these memories for them, but it's then leading to a physical creation as well.
Right.
I will say that the like therapy guided repressed memory thing is bunk, is false, and is incredibly dangerous. However, with PTSD, there is also recovered recovered memory is the one that's bunk and false. Repressed memories are real, and that's a PTSD thing. But that's something that therapists will like not get into. They will like, we can't guide you through that. You have to get that on you have to, through your life, get that on your own. If that pops up for you and you experience that, let's talk about it. And let's talk about that memory and why you're feeling like the memories that you feel around that. They do not ask leading. It's like a really like hard line, but the like recovered memory thing is bunk, and it's very, very, very dangerous.
Yeah.
The human mind, as Cronenberg implies about the human body, is very malleable.
And a big mystery. We don't know that much about, the mind and the brain. What else?
Yeah, it's fascinating. I mean, I like how much this movie balances a social drama in the middle of Cronenbergian sci-fi and little creature feature movie at the same time. The scene of Art Hindle and the teacher back at his house is really fucking heartbreaking.
I know you want it to work out so bad because they're both so
know.
cute and nice. He's a good dad, which
He's
is
a
sexy.
very, very good dad. It's also funny to think, this movie, Cronenberg has stated, is partially autobiographical about the emotions he was feeling going through his divorce in, 77, 78. And, along with that, anxieties about parenthood. So in a way, this could fit in with something like Eraserhead, which has similar ideas brewing under its surface. But it's also funny to think, Cronenberg is still around. He's still with us. He has raised 3 very talented kids that seem pretty...
At various levels.
Pretty talent. pretty stable.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to look at this kind of capture of his psyche circa 1979 and to be able to be like, I think you did a good job. I think simply being a parent and asking these questions of yourself means you're probably going to do a good job as a parent.
It's true. Like, terrible parents don't think about these things.
Yeah.
I do think it's funny to think about this movie through the lens of, like, it being kind of a men's rights movie.
Yeah.
Like an MRA movie, because it's all about how, like, dads get the short end of the stick and courts...
How hard it is for him to get custody of the kid.
Yeah, courts side with moms no matter what. And there is some truth to that sort of stuff, but it is, like, I don't know. It's kind of a wonder that this hasn't been, like, scooped up by, like, the Andrew Tates of the world, except that those people aren't sophisticated enough to watch something like this.
Yeah, they're not watching this. They're not watching this at all.
Andrew Tate's a no on have you seen it for The Brood.
I will say the other movie that this makes me think of a lot is, it's very obvious though, is Possession.
Yeah.
Because it's both dealing with the divorce. They're both
good dads, terrible moms.
Parents for a single child. Yeah. Both of the mothers are dealing with some kind of a mental illness and a, like, break. It is, like, isolating herself away from her family. Has a mysterious man in her life that has, science fiction elements to their relationship. And on top of that, both of the divorced dads then kind of fall for the teacher.
Yeah, true.
Because the teacher is kind of filling the mother role anyway.
Yeah.
And so he's like, oh, okay, cool. That's easy then.
How do you think this movie would feel next to Kramer versus Kramer?
Famously came out the same year. Yeah.
Which I haven't seen since I was a kid, but I was like, I wonder if that would make a good double feature.
Both are, like, from the dad's perspective and the mom's a bitch. Yeah. I haven't seen Kramer versus Kramer.
Oh, you haven't? I haven't seen it since I was, like, a little kid, but
mostly because, like, I'm not a Dustin Hoffman fan, and it's a big sell to get me to watch a Dustin Hoffman movie, and it's also a big sell to get me to watch a, like, family drama that, from my perception of it, feels like it might be too close to home for me. So, and granted, that's obviously not my situation, but, like, nonetheless, it's never spoken to me. It's never compelled me.
There's such a yuppie family that I don't know if it would be recognizable, because your Midwestern blue-collar childhood is nothing like the family in this movie.
That's probably also extremely true. But I think part of the other reason I haven't watched it is because every discussion I've seen of it is people being like, and the mom's a bitch. And I'm like, it's Meryl Streep. Be nice to her.
You're not a fan of The Graduate?
I like The Graduate. I like movies that have Dustin Hoffman in them, but Dustin Hoffman isn't a selling point to me because this is going to sound really mean. I can, like, see him acting a lot of the time. It feels like he's trying really hard in every scene he's in.
You know who I feel that way about? Meryl Streep.
Really?
I think she's great, but I just, like, I always see the work.
My favorite Meryl Streep performance is because it's her most effortless performance, and that's Defending Your Life.
Actually, I should correct myself. I am thinking of the past 20 years. Like,
oh yeah.
Devil Wears Prada kind of onward. I feel like she's phoning it in a little bit and like just wearing a mask without wearing a mask. You know what I mean?
I mean, Pacino's doing the same thing.
Totally.
It's like,
Totally.
yeah. You reach a point. Michael Caine started doing the same thing by like the 80s or 90s. Like,
as opposed to somebody who like Kristen Stewart, who I think actually just disappears into a character. People are going to think I'm crazy for comparing Kristen Stewart to Meryl Streep, but I think she's actually
she's an incredible actress. She's an extraordinary actress. People do not champion the performance she gave in Crimes of the Future enough. She gave an amazing performance.
Incredible. She's incredible. And as she just fucking Princess Di. Oh, I know. I can't wait to see that. I love her. And I think in 20 more years, it won't be a crazy comparison to compare her to Meryl Streep.
But you know who's someone that gets accused of phoning in performances and kind of having like a locked in kind of mode of acting, but it never feels like she's acting. It always feels lived in. Joan Crawford.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Like, she's just built that way.
Do you know who I also love who's kind of in the Kristen Stewart camp is Michelle Williams, I feel like.
See, I don't like Michelle Williams.
Really?
Michelle Williams, I also feel like it feels very manicured and performed to me.
Her.
And something about her, just like her and Amy Adams, I just like, I don't.
No, I like them both.
I don't buy it. There's something very theater kid to it to me.
Oh, that's Anne Hathaway to me. Anne Hathaway.
See, I love Anne Hathaway.
I think she's good sometimes, but I think that she is somebody I can see the work. Something about her is cloying to me. It feels very drama school, very musical theater kid.
She is a very musical theater kid, but I mean like that positively, not derogatory for her. I love Anne Hathaway. Sorry. I'm big fan. Anyway,
is there anything else to say about The Brood other than it's great? Oh, great score by Howard Shore, as always.
Oh, always. Fucking always. Literally every single time I watch a Cronenberg movie, I walk out of it and I'm like, I think that's Howard Shore's best score. And I said that after Dead Ringers, and then I put on The Brood and I was like, I think that's Howard Shore's best score.
Just so good. So
and
good.
Soon, for people in LA, we can go see Howard Shore's Crash score live.
Ooh.
At the new Trent Reznor festival.
What's the Trent
Future
Reznor
Ruins?
Festival?
You haven't heard about this? Okay.
No.
Okay. Oh my God, Josh, you're gonna lose your mind.
I assume it has something to do with scores from movies.
Yeah, you're gonna lose your mind, and also we're probably gonna go. It's called Future Ruins. It is a music and arts festival organized by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross. It's November 8th of this year at the Los Angeles Equestrian Center. And there's no headliner, and it's all just a bunch of different famous composers playing their work. So it's Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross. It's Terrence Blanchard. It is Questlove doing the film scores of Curtis Mayfield. Mark Mothersbaugh. John Carpenter. I don't know if it's Howard Shore doing Crash or someone else performing Howard Shore's Crash, but Crash. Claudio Simonetti's Goblin.
Whoa.
Danny Elfman. Cristobal Tapa de Veer, who did the music for White Lotus.
Yeah.
Ben Salisbury and Jeff Barrow, who do the music for like Annihilation and Ex Machina and stuff. It's John Carpenter, Mark Mothersbaugh, Danny Elfman, Trent Reznor, Howard Shore, and Goblin alone.
I mean, like, incredible. What a cool way to trick people into going to the symphony, also.
Yeah, basically. Oh, the other one on it is Volker Bertelmann, who did the score to Conclave.
Oh, so, yeah, I really liked that score.
I'm so fucking excited for this. Yeah, it's the most obnoxious people and the coolest people in LA are all going to be at the Los Angeles Equestrian Center in November.
Well, we love The Brood, but let's move on and play our favorite game, Have They Seen It?, where we speculate wildly whether notable figures have seen this movie. My boy Art Hundel was in other movies that we love, Black Christmas and the 1970s version of Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Do you think star of Invasion of the Body Snatchers, Donald Sutherland, ever saw The Brood?
Oh, one of the few guys who's not in that movie that's not been in a Cronenberg film.
Yeah.
I feel like he saw The Brood.
Do you think he would like it?
I think he would.
You don't
It might
think
be
it's too trashy?
It might be slightly too trashy for him. I feel like Sutherland probably enjoyed the later 80s films more.
He would love Crash, I think.
Yeah, I think Donald Sutherland would really fuck with Crash. Kiefer, call in. Let us know what your dad thought about stuff.
Yeah.
I
feel like Donald Sutherland was horny for most
but
of his
also
life.
Canadian.
Also
Keep in
Canadian.
mind.
Yeah.
Famously Canadian. I feel like he would have been a supporter of Cronenberg. He, like we've pointed out, has a good horror background himself. Body Snatchers, Don't Look Now.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he would have liked The Brood a lot.
Me too.
I really, really, really do. So I'm thinking about other great divorce films. And there's a more recent divorce film that was a big hit. It won the Oscars. It was a big deal when it came out. And it had like memes made out of it. And that would be Noah Baumbach's Marriage Story, which I think is a legitimately fantastic and incredible movie.
I've never seen it.
Blame the Netflix rollout for making memes out of Adam Driver's incredible scene.
Yeah.
Which is very unfortunate. After that, so many people I knew were like, I would never watch that movie. That looks terrible. And I was like, it's great. I'm so mad at Netflix for just dropping it online and lowest common denominator people making fucking.
Well, it also came out of like a
it.
political moment where it was like, I'm not watching movies about, privileged people or whatever. It's like, shut the fuck up. That's all you ever do. Everything on television is about privileged people. Like,
right.
Save your sanctimony.
It's a genuinely really, really, really good and funny movie. And it features a cameo by the Mighty Boosh's Rich Fulcher. Do you think Noah Baumbach has seen The Brood?
Yes, for sure. Just because I always think the best of filmmakers. And I think that I'm not the biggest Noah Baumbach fan, to be honest. I've never liked any of his movies that I've seen except for Francis Ha. But I think he's smart and sophisticated, and I think he watches a lot of movies. I think Adam Driver has seen this movie too and would love it. And Scarlett Johansson. I think all three of them have seen this. You didn't ask, but I'm telling you. I think all three of them have seen The Brood and love it.
Let's move it up to 4 and say Rich Fulcher's also seen it.
Yeah.
I feel almost certain to say that Noah Baumbach would have seen The Brood. Keep in mind, he made a whole documentary about Brian De Palma.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
he's a big fan of De Palma and Hitchcock and 80s horror and stuff. In the same way that like you'll watch interviews with Wes Anderson and you're like, oh, I'm sure his favorite movies are like 1930s French sausage-eatery movies. And like, yeah. But then he'll also talk about how much he loves Michael Mann and how much he loves Manhunter. And you're like, oh.
Yeah, sometimes artists, the art that they love is not at all like the art that they make. And so you're surprised that they love that thing. It's like when you find out that Cate Blanchett loves Evil Dead.
Yeah.
So I think, yes, the whole cast and crew of Marriage Story has seen
They hosted a screening. They had everyone come on down.
It's a key element to the pre-production. I'm thinking, I just mentioned Scarlett Johansson, and I'm thinking of one of my favorite movies of all time that she is in, which is Ghost World. That, of course, stars the wonderful character actor Steve Buscemi.
Do you think Steve Buscemi?
Or Buscemi, as it's actually pronounced.
It is Buscemi, yeah.
My friend John Bass was on this show with him for TCM called Miracle Workers, a show I've never watched before.
Oh, yeah. Not TCM, AMC.
AMC.
Or and no, it's not AMC. It's TBS.
TBS, that's the one. And John told me that he asked Steve how his last name was said, and Steve said Buscemi. And then John was like, why don't you ever correct people? And he was like, it doesn't seem worth it. He seems like a very chill guy, I guess is the point.
Yeah. Scorsese is the same way. Everyone says Martin Scorsese, but it's
Yeah.
Scorsese. It's a hard Z sound because they're both Italian. Could
What
you
are you gonna
believe
do?
that's how you pronounce Italian names? Yeah.
What are you going to do? And yet they get upset when you say mozzarella instead of mozzarella.
Mozzarella. Yeah.
So you can say their name wrong, but you can't say mozzarella wrong. So Steve Buscemi.
I would say he's probably seen it. I mean,
You don't think it ranks for him, though? I'm guessing from your tone that like he could take it or leave it, or he doesn't like it.
I feel like he likes Cronenberg. I mean, I know he's buddies with, Willem Dafoe and a lot of the other, and Goldblum and all those other character actors who've all done Cronenberg movies.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably too New York to crack into the Cronenberg sphere. He likes a Midwestern accent or a British accent, and that's it. But yeah, I feel like he definitely saw it in
The 80s.
if not the probably like the early 80s on video. If not, I don't know what kind of theatrical release The Brood got in America in 1979.
I have no idea, to be honest.
I mean,
I think it's a theatrical movie, right? It's a studio film, isn't it?
Yes, it was. It was released. I want to say Avco Embassy put it out. Who put out The Graduate? Let me track down.
While you look that up, let me ask you this: do you think that Steve Buscemi would be good in a Cronenberg movie, or do you think it's too on the nose?
I think he would be very good in a Cronenberg movie. I think he's a very talented actor, and I think
he is. Yeah,
is a very does he's very good with accent work and character work, and I think he could slide into the Cronenberg mold very, very, very well. He just gets more because of his look and because of his acting chops. He gets more of the kind of like Coen Brothers screwball kind of casting, where he's talking a mile a minute and kind of being like a Peter Lorre kind of actor, which is great. But I think David, next movie, you got to cast Steve. The idea of David Cronenberg's next movie, and it's like Willem Dafoe, Steve Buscemi, Jeff Goldblum, I would lose my mind.
Do you know who?
But he doesn't really do that. He gets like two big leads, and that's it.
Yeah, they don't have the hugest budgets generally.
No.
Do you know who would be so good? Is I was gonna say Amy Lou Wood from White Lotus.
Yeah,
would be so good. And then I was like, but Walton Goggins would be really good too.
Yeah. Oh, Walton Goggins would be incredible in a Cronenberg movie.
Or Parker Posey, for that matter. Put Parker Posey in there.
Parker Posey easily could have been in Maps to the Stars. If Julianne Moore hadn't taken that part, Parker Posey easily could have fit in. Or could Carrie Fisher plays herself in that movie, and if she hadn't taken the playing yourself part, Parker Posey could have done that too.
Yeah.
I've always thought that Kevin Kline would be really good in a Cronenberg.
I haven't seen Kevin Kline in a ton of years. I don't know. Where has he been?
Voice acting work for like Bob's Burgers and stuff like that, and Broadway.
Oh, okay, great.
He just did an Alfonso Cuarón TV miniseries for Apple called Disclaimer that got bad reviews.
I'm a lifelong Phoebe Cates stan. I love her, and I wish that she still acted. But I actually really love their daughter, who is a singer-songwriter named Frankie Cosmos.
Oh,
and it's just like lo-fi, cutesy indie music. It's really good. Sweet and sad, that
their
kind
daughter
of sound.
Greta.
Yeah. She's really good.
And their son Owen Kline is the director of Funny Pages.
Yeah.
And the star of Noah Baumbach's Squid and the Whale.
Cool family.
All incredibly talented.
But Phoebe Cates didn't have to stop acting. She's so good and so charming.
Yeah, I know. She's so good. The only roles that she took, into the 90s and stuff were like cameo roles in stuff that Kevin Kline was in. I Love You to Death. Like, she's got like a small role here and there and stuff. Maybe she just didn't
like acting, but if that's not the case, and she just wanted to raise her kids are grown now. Like, come back to the big screen, Phoebe Cates. We miss you.
Yeah, I know. Please. Also, Kevin Kline, work more.
Yeah.
Please,
We
just
want
like
to see you both. Do a movie together. Produce a movie. Write it yourself. Star in it. Make it happen. We want to see you.
yeah, maybe make it like an erotic thriller, the two of them.
Yes. Nothing like an erotic thriller about two people in their 60s.
I would watch it.
Yeah, it depends on. Yeah, sure.
They're two of the most beautiful people in the world. Put it on.
Absolutely.
So obviously, it goes without saying that the highlight of this movie is Oliver Reed's robe.
Obviously. No question.
And of course, this Bloodhaus is a house built on a mutual love of Oliver Reed. And if you know anything about us and you know anything about Oliver Reed, it's that his two best friends in the world were Keith Moon and Ken Russell. Keith Moon unfortunately had passed the year before The Brood was made, but Ken Russell was still going hard,
alive and well,
and he was prepping Altered States when The Brood came out. Do you think Ken Russell saw The Brood?
Well, obviously yes, because of their friendship, but my question is, like, what did he make of it? Do you think he would like it or not?
I think he would love this movie.
I would think so at first guess, but then there's like a parallel version where it's too close somehow to like, or that he's like sort of weirdly jealous of it in some way, or I don't know.
I mean, he did follow up. The Brood comes out in 79, maybe early 80 US release, and then Ken Russell makes Altered States, which is basically Ken Russell's Cronenberg movie.
Yeah, it is.
Which is like as good as, if not better than, most Cronenberg movies. So I don't think he has anything to be jealous about, first of all. And he was like, you know, slightly more elder statesman than Cronenberg. So he was like very well established. I know his career was on a bit of a downside at that time. But he kind of popped back and reinvented himself in the 80s. But also, I don't think anything could be too trashy for Ken Russell.
True. That's
true. First of all.
He's a piece
and
of trash.
Second of all, he was keeping up with contemporary stuff in the 80s. He has a very famous quote from 87 about RoboCop, saying that RoboCop was the best science fiction film since Metropolis. So
I'd buy that. I just rewatched that movie and loved it.
I would buy that for $1.
I'll buy that for $1. The scene where the man runs into, when the kid from Fame, it's the guy from Fame, runs into like a toxic waste dump and then shows up as like a melty monster is so over the top.
The sound effect that happens when the car hits is so fucking disgusting.
It's so good.
RoboCop is a perfect film.
Great movie.
And Ken Russell loves RoboCop. I would love to be in a movie theater with Ken Russell while he watches RoboCop.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god. I think he would love The Brood.
I think he would too, for sure.
I could see Ken Russell kind of sharing your opinion on Cronenberg of like, I liked his early stuff.
That's how
I
like all Cronenberg, but I do my favorite are the first three. Shivers, Rabbit, and The Brood. Those are my favorites.
I mean, I think Ken Russell had like a really, really broad taste, and I mean, no one does that many D.H. Lawrence adaptations without a certain like air of respectability, but also was happy to like have Roger Daltrey like swinging swords against like Frankenstein, Dracula, Nazi monsters. So like,
it's interesting to think of them together because I think that there's like two different kinds of artists, right? There's like some person who has like an obsessive voice and point of view that they just repeat for everything. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean they just have, you know, John Waters is this way, Cronenberg is this way. And then there's artists who change more often and are trying different things. And this is like Ken Russell and Madonna or
Steven
like
Soderbergh.
Yeah, exactly. And there's nothing wrong with either one, but I always wondered if the grass is greener, you know what I mean? If those kinds of artists wish that they were the other kind.
This is going to sound weird, but in my mind, Cronenberg's most similar filmmaker, this is going to sound super weird, is Woody Allen in terms of like career trajectory. Because to a degree, there's the like, oh, I like their early funny ones, or I like his early splatter ones. Yeah. And then you got too serious at, you know, For Woody Allen, it was the 80s, and for Cronenberg, it was the 90s. And then both of them reinvented themselves in the early and mid 2000s, making crime thrillers.
Yeah.
Woody Allen made Cassandra's Dream and his like remake of A Place in the Sun, which Matchpoint, which are both straight down the line thrillers. And then Cronenberg made A History of Violence and Eastern Promises.
I actually thought I was the only one who preferred those 3 early Cronenberg movies, but I guess not.
I feel like that's the prevailing perception is that like everyone, like, if you ask the like horror fan on the street their favorite Cronenberg movies, it's always going to be The Fly, Videodrome, Scanners. The Brood.
I think of that as a separate era from the first 3.
Oh, the early trashy 3. That's fair. That's fair. I feel like those the trashy
those 3 that you mentioned are the big 3. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I feel like those are going to be the big ones for most people, and then after that, they will have been watched or been fans of the early trashy 3 before they dip into Naked Lunch or M Butterfly, or Crash, the stuff that I love.
Yeah, it's like I'm not the world's biggest Beatles fan, but I have hippie parents, of course, so I grew up on the Beatles. And the Beatles that I like the most is like very early Ed Sullivan
Hard Day's
Beatles,
Night,
which is not the normal opinion.
I agree with you. I mean, whenever Ivory and I are in the car and the Beatles come on the radio, she always goes, ugh, and changes the channel. But if it's like early Beatles, I'm like,
if it's like I Want to Hold Your Hand or something like that, I'm all over it. But if it's like the hippie 1969 Beatles, I'm like, skip.
Yeah. And like Magical Mystery Tour and all that stuff, I just like, there's a nice little wastebasket right there for it. But I like Help. Love. Hard Day's Night, love. Like like Meet the Beatles, like Revolver's the cutoff. Like after Revolver it goes downhill, but like
totally.
I think they're great. But honestly, you know, they're almost as good as the Monkees. So
I love the Monkees.
I prefer the Monkees, sue me.
I prefer the Byrds, for that matter, and the Zombies. Talking about like jangly 60s rock music.
I prefer the Kinks. Yeah.
Anyway, this has turned into like a boomer episode.
Anyway, let's go get our AARP cards filled and go have a 5 o'clock dinner.
Anyway, thank you so much for listening to this episode of Bloodhaus. Please rate it 5 stars wherever you listen to podcasts. You can email us at bloodhousepod@gmail.com. You can follow us on Instagram at BloodhousePod. Drusilla, shout out your socials.
You can follow me at Sister Hyde on Instagram and Blue Sky. Check out Sister Hyde with Drusilla Adeline on Letterboxd. And you can see all of my current obsession of Brian Edgar Walder's German creamy movies right now, which are so good. The Strangler of Blackmore Castle, The Phantom of Soho, The Mad Executioners. They're so sleazy, cheesy fun. And you can find me and my work over at sisterhydedesign.com. You know, all my new art is out. All of my art is up there, and all of my new stuff hits there first. So go check that out. There's new stuff coming all the fucking time right now. I'm so busy. What about you, Josh? How can people psychoplasmically connect with you?
I'm at Joshua Conkel at Blue Sky, Letterboxd, and Instagram. Next week, we are crossing something off our list that's been there for ages. Finishing the filmography of this person that we hate talking about, even though we love this movie. What are we watching?
We are heading to swinging 1960s London. We are watching maybe the first femcel classic film of all time. And we are reteaming with our old Polish friend, Roman Polanski, for his breakthrough English language shocker, starring the 60s siren of France herself, Catherine Deneuve, as we experience Repulsion.
Ooh la la. Can't wait. Bye, everybody.